Welcome to Do Not Disturb. Welcome to Do Not Disturb. Today we are reading a story from our creepypasta by Gamble Frank called After My Eye Surgery, I Can't Stand to Look at My Family Anymore. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Do Not Disturb. I'm writing this from my laptop, wedged in my closet with the door barricaded by my desk and dresser. I can hear them outside my bedroom door. Their voices are so calm and so loving. But there are other sounds too, and those are the ones keeping me in here. It all started about 3 months ago. My whole life has been a little blur. I'm sorry guys, it's just like R words, it's a whole problem for me. My whole life has been a blur. I was born with, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, I apologize, eczema. I will write it out for you. So bad that the orthodontist used to joke that I saw the world in a permanent soft focus. I couldn't find my glasses on the nightstand without first fumbling for them like a blind man. Contacts were a daily, irritating ritual. I was 24, had a decent job, and I'd finally saved up enough. LASIK was my ticket to a new life, a clear life. The consultation was sterile and reassuring. The doctor was a sharp older man with an intense, almost predatory focus. He had this way of looking at you like he was seeing more than just the surface of your eyes. He talked about refractor errors or corneal flaps, using a calm, authoritative tone that washed away any lingering anxieties. He mentioned a new, slightly experimental technique he was pioneering. He said it was more precise, offering a level of clarity that was unprecedented. He claimed it could correct for atmospheric distortions and even light-level fluctuations that standard procedures couldn't touch. I was sold. I wanted the best. I wanted to see everything. God, what a fool I was. First thing that I will like to say and comment on about this story is that I am tired of these there's a lot of words in here that I just can't pronounce, and I don't actually think that's my fault. There's just a lot of words in here that are just big words, and I hate when people use big words, but it's because they're like practicing their writing, and it's like, bitch, I just need to learn how to read. I need to learn how to read, and that's my fault. But also, another thing I would like to say about the actual story itself, this is one of my worst nightmares. I'm actually not gonna lie at all. This is probably my worst nightmare. My worst nightmare is becoming blind. Okay, it's becoming blind, not being able to see everything, but be able to hear absolutely everything, because my hearing is already pretty good. I have like selective hearing though, like I can't hear anything that I don't care about, but my hearing is pretty good, and I'm a really good eavesdropper. Like, I'm good at hearing every single noise around my house. I can hear when the doors open. I can hear what my family's talking about from every single bedroom from my room. Like, I have really good ears. And so if I suddenly became blind, that is my worst nightmare, because if I'm able to hear everything around me but not be able to see and conclude that nobody was here with me, I would freak the fuck out. Like, I don't even like going to sleep because I can't see. Like, that's how bad me not seeing is a problem for me. And anything touching my eyes, like in surgery, that's a no-go. That's a no-go. I would absolutely refuse. I do not care what's going on with me. I don't care about anything. I am not having surgery on my eyes. But anyway, I will proceed. The surgery itself was as bizarre and impersonal as you expect. The smell of antiseptic, the cold metal on the head brace, and the medicine they gave me, making my limbs feel like they belonged to someone else. I remember the pressure on my eyeball, the smell of burning that they could tell it was just a laser, and the doctor's calm voice narrating the whole thing, a perfect flap. Now we're reshaping, just a few more seconds. Then darkness followed by a soft application of bandages and shields over my eyes. The recovery was the hardest part. 2 weeks of total darkness. I was completely dependent on my family. My mom, my dad, my younger sister. They were amazing. They led me around the house by the arm, made sure I didn't bump into anything. My mom would cook all my favorite meals, the smell of her stew or roasted chicken filling the house. She'd sit with me, spoon-feeding me so I wouldn't make a mess. Her voice was a constant, smoothing presence. Just a little more, sweetie. You need to keep your strength up. My dad would read to me for hours, sport pages, fantasy novels, anything to pass the time. His deep, rumbling voice was a comfort in the black void my world has become. My sister would change the music, put on podcasts, and just sit with me. Her presence was a silent reassurance. They were the perfect, loving family, and I was consumed by a profound sense of gratitude. I couldn't wait to see their faces again, really see them with my new, perfect eyes. The bandages came off and was supposed to be a celebration. We all went to the clinic together, and the nurse was gentle as she snipped the tape slowly, unwound the gauze. For a moment, with the bandages gone, but my eyes still closed, I felt a tremor of pure, unadulterated excitement. Okay, the nurse said softly. Open them slowly. The light will be very bright at first. I did as she said. I squeezed my eyelids. Then I let them flutter open. The first thing I noticed was the sharpness. It was violent. Every single texture in the room leaped out at me. The microscopic pits of the acoustic tile ceiling, the individual fibers in the nurse's blue scrubs, the tiny, almost invisible cracks in the aluminum floor. It was all so overwhelming. A tidal wave of visual information that made my brain ache. The doctor said that it would be like this, hypersensitivity. He said it would calm down. I blinked, trying to focus. The nurse was smiling at me. She looked normal, just a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a slightly tired smile. Then I turned to my family, and my world broke. Before we keep going, I just would like to say that this is actually terrifying. Because I know that people actually go through this, and I think that's what the scary part is, because like my grandpa, he had eye surgery, and I was terrified for him because like eye stuff is like anything can go wrong and you can immediately be blind forever, but also being blind and like memory loss and stuff when you're like coming from a hospital. I feel like hospitals and just places in general do not have enough safety checks for like actual identification of people, which, you know, I can't be complaining about because I don't even have an ID. And so when I went to like the hospital, they did not know how to ID me other than my passport and like my mother's word. And it's just like, yeah, but also it's like when you're coming to like someone that has memory loss or someone that's going through surgery, y'all need to make sure that those are the same people, because I don't trust any doctors actually, but you know, I think that's partly because like I know everybody be cheating on their fucking test. So like ChatGPT and AI, bitch, I don't trust no doctor in the next 20 years. I don't trust no doctor in the next 20 years, okay? I don't even think medical school is hard anymore because all y'all doing is using ChatGPT for all your damn essays. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to continue because I'm scared. And my world broke. It's hard to describe what I saw because my mind refused to accept it for a few first seconds. I'm sorry, I messed that up so hard. I am so sorry. It's hard to describe what I saw because my mind refused to accept it for the first few seconds. It was like a cognitive blind spot, a visual glitch. My mom was smiling. Her mouth was moving, saying my name, but her face, it just wasn't her face. Fused to her jawline, wrapping up and around her left cheek was something else. It was a pulsating sack of molted grayish pink flesh, veined with sickly purple lines, too thin, whipped like tentacles, no thicker than a worm, were coiled around her lower lip as she spoke. They twitched and adjusted, seeming to pull her lips up into a shape of her smile. Her own skin seemed stretched, and thin, where it meant this growth. Okay, that description a little bit confused me, but to better describe what I think he's talking about is like her skin doesn't, it looks like someone is wearing her skin, is what I think he's trying to describe. I'm not saying you did a bad job. Words are hard, and for some reason this person likes to choose like every single hard word in a fucking row. Like it's irritating me, but also it's just like, it's better when you're reading it and you can really describe it, but when you're reading it out loud, it's just like, why would you ever put those two words together? That just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I digress. It's like the mom is like, it's the mom, but someone else is wearing her skin. That's how I think he's trying to describe. I tore my eyes away, my heart hammering against my ribs, and I looked at my dad. He was clapping me on the shoulder, his face beaming with pride, but his chest blooming out from under his collared shirt was a larger, more complex structure. It was fleshy, fungi-looking mass that seemed to have burrowed into his sternum. It was ribbed, almost like a grotesque seashell, and it glistened with a thin sheen of moisture. A thick tube like an appendix snaked up from it, disappearing under his chin and into his mouth. He wasn't speaking, the sounds were coming from him, but the fleshy tube was vibrating with the words. Okay, I think actually what this person is describing is as if like snakes or insects are inside their skin. Like, do you know in Stranger Things when Vecna has like all of, like when Vecna inserts something into Will, I think it's that type of vibe where like Will's skin went all like purple and like disorientated. Like it's a very like Stranger Things type of upside down vibe for the parents, and I think something must just be inside the parents. I think this is still his parents, but we'll find out. I felt the brow rise in my throat. I looked at my sister, and she was the worst. A shimmering, almost transcendent thing was draped over her head and shoulders like a living shawl. It was futureless, save for a series of pulsating bladders that ran down her spine. Its torrents were woven into her hair, and two larger, thicker ones were plunged directly into the corners of her mouth, stretching her lips into a permanent, placent grin. What do you think? My mom's voice cooled, but the thing on her face seemed to pulse in time with her words. Can you see us clearly? Okay. I honestly think something is going on that none of us are expecting, and what I'm expecting is that this world is actually his world, because he said that his vision was so like soft like filter type, where it's like the sharpness, like maybe you're actually seeing inside of their skin. Like maybe it's not even like there's something wrong, because I feel like if all of us humans had like better vision, because I know we have 20/20 vision, but like clearly, like if you believe in supernatural and you believe in all that stuff, we clearly don't actually have 20/20 vision. Like we don't have perfect vision, we just have like perfect vision in the eyes of humans, you know? Like just like with insects, like some insects have perfect vision in the eyes of insects, but they don't actually have perfect vision in the eyes of humans. Do you get what I mean? I think that makes sense. So I'm assuming that this doctor's new technique allowed him to actually see the world for what it is, which like in some cases people believe like it could be like analog and stuff like that, like analog horror, and that's like actually how people look like, and our eyes just like have a shift thing in our head. And also a hot take is like maybe we don't actually all see each other the same way, and maybe we all see humans differently, and so like maybe it's not, because like we're all attracted to different people, but did you ever think that maybe our eyesight is actually just tailored to us to a point where it's like we couldn't, like with colors, do you actually know that color's yellow? You know, like do you actually know that color's yellow? Do you actually know that color's green? You know, with colorblind people, it's like, do you actually know that color is this color? Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing with our eyesight. And so I'm like, maybe he's just actually seeing what the world is supposed to be, and we just don't know. You know, like we just can't see it because our eyes are so adjusted to one type of vision. I don't know. I think I'm making sense. Let's continue. What do you think? My mom's voice cooed, but the thing on her face seemed to pulse in time with her words. Can you see us clearly? That's Stranger Things vibe. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. I just stared, my new, perfect eyes taking in every single horrifying detail. The way the things moved in symbolism with them. The way their own bodies seemed almost secondary. He seemed shocked. My dad's voice rumbled, the tube on his chest vibrating. It's a lot to take in all at once. I must have passed out or at least blacked out because the next thing I remember is being in the car on the way home, my head against the cool glass of the window. I kept my eyes closed. I told them the light was just too much and my head was killing me. They were so understanding. They bought it completely. The next few weeks were a living nightmare. I pretended my eyes were still adjusting, that I had a constant menage. I spent as much time as I could in my room in the dark, but I couldn't hide forever. I had to eat. The first time my mom brought me a tray of food, I almost screamed. It was her famous beef stew, the one I had loved my whole life. The smell was the same, rich, savory, and a little bit rosemary, but what I saw on the plate was not stew. It was a bowl. Thick, dark red, almost black sludge. It moved. It pulsed with a slow, rhythmic beat, like a living organ. Flowing in the gruel were small, white, maggot-like things, writhing slowly. I'm not sure what's at play here, but honestly, it sounds pretty cool. I can't tell if this is like, okay, so I think this is an actual real thing where, you know how in analog horror, like, you see like the people and their faces are distorted. I'm pretty sure there's an actual mental disorder where people actually see people like that. Like there's like brain tumors or something like that where you actually see people and their face looks like analog horror. It's like my worst nightmare, yes. But it's a real thing where you like the faces all look different and the people around you just don't look the same anymore. I'm pretty sure this is kind of this is kind of the same thing. I kind of don't even think this is supernatural or anything, because if everything else is the same and it's just the sight that is different, especially after the surgery, maybe the doctor like did something with his brain on accident. Like it could have been an accident because he said he was just testing it out. Especially because he says he was testing out this new technique and it's supposed to be the best. He might have messed with something in OP's brain that would require, what's it mean? Like that would mess with how he perceives reality in the way like that some brain tumors do, where you think you're having something paranormal, but really it's just you have an underlying brain tumor, or like the way some chemical stuff does where it's like you have a chemical reaction and it's causing you to perceive everything differently. That's just my hot take. I don't think this is actually supernatural, but we'll find out. Eat up, she said, and her voice warm. I just read that completely wrong. Eat up, she said, her voice warm, while the parasite on her cheek quivered with anticipation. You need your strength. I stared at the bowl, then at her. I watched as one of the tendrils on her face dripped into the bowl, scooped up a dollop with writhing sludge, and pushed it into her mouth. She chewed, swallowed, and smiled at me. I threw up in the bathroom for 20 minutes. I learned to cope. I'd take the food to my room, flush it down the toilet, and I'd claim I'd eaten it. I lived on protein bars and bottled water. I smuggled into... Okay, I'm not the problem here. That's literally just... I think that's written wrong. I'd smuggled into my room and hidden, but the water, even the water, was wrong. When they poured me a glass from the tap, it wasn't clear. It was faintly red, like a heavily dilated blood. Yet, they drank it down like it was nothing. They'd pour a glass, and the things attached to them would drip into their own spiny little appendages into the glass first, before letting their host drink. The scariest part was how normal everything was. I sneak out of the house sometimes. I'd walk down the street and everything looked normal. The mailman, the kids playing in the park, the woman jogging with her dog, they were just people. It was only my family. Was I going insane? Was this some kind of rare localization hallucination brought on by the surgery? A stroke? A brain tumor? That's what I'm saying. That's what I think it is. I think it's a brain tumor. I started watching them, really watching them, and I noticed that they thought I wasn't looking. Their movements became less human. My dad would sit in his armchair, and a fungal thing on his chest would periodically unfurl, revealing a dark, gaping orthogox that would let out a low, gurgle click. My sister would sometimes stand perfectly still for hours, staring at the wall, while a transcendent thing on her back rippled and shimmered, as if communicating with something I couldn't see. Then I realized my family never actually chewed. Their jaws moved, but their appendages of the thing attached to them did the work, shoving the pulsating grill into their mouths when it was absorbed, not swallowed. I apologize for any grammar stuff. It's just, I'm not sure if I'm the problem or if this is the problem. I think it's just a story. I think it's just the words that are a problem and how they're kind of formatted. I think something is off, okay? And I don't think it's me this time because I'm actually paying as much attention as I can. The last 2 episodes, that was on me, okay? I just can't read. But in this one, I'm not sure if it's me or if the grammar is generally just off. But anyway, we can continue, guys. The isolation was crushing me. I was terrified of my own family. Their loving touches felt like a proffering of an alien species. Yeah, you know what? That's not my fault. That's just not a word, bro. But I'm sorry to whoever wrote this because I think I'm just being a B word because I can't read. But also some of this is new words. And you know what? I respect writers for doing that, but don't expect me to be able to read it, bro. Don't expect me. Okay. Their loving touches felt like a alien species. Their kind words were horrifying mimicry. Okay. What this person is trying to say is that they were a mimic. Someone is living in these parents and their family. Okay, that's what they're trying to say. I had to go back to the doctor. He had to know what was happening. He had done this to me. He had to fix it. I made an appointment under the guise of a post-checkup workup. Oh my gosh. Guys, I am 99% sure that I am not the problem. Okay. I made an appointment under the guise of a post-op checkup. My mom offered to drive me. I made an excuse about wanting to take the bus to feel independent again. The look she gave me, it wasn't her look. Her eyes were placid, but the thing on her cheek pulsed once, slowly, a gesture of what felt like suspicion. The hospital was a beacon of normalcy. The receptionist, the patients in the waiting room, and the other doctors, they were all humans. Undoored, and I felt a surge of relief so powerful it almost made me cry. I wasn't crazy. The world was normal. Something was just profoundly, existently wrong inside of my own home. What I don't understand is why, if the world is so normal, why the doctors, when they saw, because they came to pick him up. You get what I mean? They came to pick him up and the doctor didn't see anything wrong. So that's why I'm pretty sure this is all in his head because the doctor did not see anything wrong with him. And also my voice is about to go out because I don't have water, but I kind of refuse to get up. So we're raw dogging. Okay. Existently wrong in my own home. When I went to the department, I asked for the doctor who had performed my surgery. The receptionist, a young woman who looked bored, tapped at her keyboard for a moment. "I'm sorry," she said without looking up. "He's no longer with the hospital." My blood ran cold. "What? What do you mean? I just saw him a few weeks ago. He resigned." He resigned! He did do something. The doctor did something. He resigned. Okay, that gives me a whole new list of theories because I didn't think the doctor was evil at first. At first I was like, maybe the doctor isn't evil. Maybe the doctor's experiment just went wrong and he hit something inside of OP's brain that like caused the problem, and like it wasn't actually like he did anything wrong. Also, this is from our creepypasta. I know I didn't say that earlier, but I just felt like I should probably now. But also, I was just like, maybe something is wrong in his brain because of the surgery. Like maybe he accidentally put a needle too far back where it hit a part of his brain that like connected to how he perceives reality. But knowing that he resigned, it's like, I know he knows he did something wrong, and I'm pretty sure he got what he wanted. It's the type of vibe I'm getting, because like he was like, oh, these are new experiments, this is my own little like thing. It's not like it's not known by any other doctors, you know, like it's his own type of, you know, like surgery. So I'm assuming that he's evil. I'm assuming he's evil. Okay, let's continue. He resigned, she said, finally looking at me with a hint of annoyance. Took an extended, indefinite leave of absence. We were told he left the country. Left the country? Where did he go? Is there any way to contact him? It's an emergency. My voice was rising, laced with a panic I couldn't control. Sir, I don't have that information. We can schedule you with a different doctor if you're having an issue. An issue? Okay, sorry guys. An issue? That was a big understatement of what was happening to me. I stumbled back from the desk, my mind reeling. He was gone. My only link to what happened that day. My only hope of a solution had vanished. I was alone with this. I was about to leave defeated when an older nurse who was tidying up a pamphlet rack nearby caught my eye. She gave me a quick, almost nod toward the courier. I hesitated, then followed her. She ducked into an empty exam room and held the door open for me. You were one of his, she whispered. One of his? Okay, this gives a whole different context. That means he's been doing this to people and he finally feels like he's done it like so many times, where maybe not a lot of people, but he probably fucked up enough people where he had to resign and had to like just go away. Like he left the country, that means he could probably be sued or like go to jail for whatever he did. So maybe it's not supernatural at all, unless he put a curse on them and that's why he left the country. Just theories. A film theory, well, a Reddit theory. A Reddit theory. Okay, I don't think I said that right. Okay, you were one of his, she whispered as a statement. Her eyes were full of strange mixture of pity and fear, the special clarity ones. I just nodded, unable to speak. He left in a hurry, she said, her voice low and rushed. Picked up his office overnight. Said he was going somewhere remote. He was always a strange man, brilliant but strange. Talked about filters, vials. She looked over her shoulder down the empty hall. He left this with me. He said if anyone came back, anyone who saw things differently, I should give it to them. She pressed a small folded piece of paper into my hand. It was a phone number, just 10 digits, written in spidery, hurried script. I don't know what it is, she said, already backing out of the room. And you didn't get it from me. Good luck. She was gone before I could even thank her. Okay, maybe the doctor isn't evil, but I know the doctor definitely did something that was a lot of concerning. I am going to get a water real quick, and then I will be right back, my lovely little babies, okay? Bye for 5 seconds, okay? For you, more for me. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back because I had to get a glass of water or I was actually going to die. But, okay, a few theories about this. I think the doctor is going to turn out to be a good guy, even though I keep claiming he's evil. I do think he's evil, but I think in this story, he's going to turn out to be a good guy. I'm not sure if I actually think anything's wrong with the parents, because I don't think it makes sense that everyone else is okay except his parents. To me, that's just a little strange. I'm pretty sure this is something to do like with mental state and like something his experiment did to them, where like maybe, I don't know, maybe something bad is just attached to him or something. I don't know. Let's just continue reading. I ran out of the hospital and I didn't stop until a payphone was several blocks away. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely punch in the numbers. It rang once, twice, a third time. I was about to hang up when a voice answered. It was him. His voice was strained, crackly, like the connection was bad, but unmistakably the doctor. "Who is this?" he demanded, his tone sharp with paranoia. "It's me," I stammered, not even using my name. "The LASIK a few weeks ago. The new procedure." The fact that it's a new procedure is what scares me the most. It's like you kind of got yourself into this mess because you trusted a new procedure. New procedure just screams like this has never been tested before. That's what it screams to me. Or if it's been tested by like 1 or 2 people and we just want to test it out on you. That's what it screams to me. That's what it screams to me, and that's what scares me about this. It's like I feel as though I don't think you should be trusting this OP. But anyway, let's continue. There was a long silence on the other side of the line. I could hear the sound of wind and something else, a faint, rhythmic clicking. "Ah," he said, finally opening his voice dropping into a whisper. "So, it worked." I wasn't sure. "The clarity, you're seeing it, aren't you?" "Seeing what?" I nearly screamed into receiver. "What did you do to me? My family? They are things on them. Monsters!" "Not monsters," he corrected, his voice tinged with a terrifying mix of academic curiosity and awe. "Passengers. Symbolics. I can't say that, so I'm just going to say passengers. Sorry, guys. They've been with us for a millennium, woven into the very fabric. We are just cattle." Oh, okay. I'm going to reread this so it makes more sense and no interruptions. "Not monsters," he corrected, his voice tinged with a terrifying mix of academic curiosity and awe. "Passengers. They've been with us forever, woven into our very own fabric. We are just the cattle." Okay. So this is kind of what I was expecting at first until I changed my mind into mental insanity, because I always change my mind into mental insanity because I'm like almost everything can be explained into you're mentally insane. Like even myself, I'm like I've low-key been mentally insane for a long time where I'm like, I don't know. Like at first I used to be like I believe in paranormal, and then I was like, but I am low-key one of the most insane people. Maybe I just need someone very logical and very like not trauma filled to see a ghost, and then I'll believe it. Then I'll believe what I'm seeing. And then with this person, I'm like, okay, so this kind of goes with the theory that like something is wearing the parent's skin, but in this way that he's saying like they've been with us forever, passengers, like we are just their clothes basically. You know, that's kind of what I'm kind of getting, like we're just their cattle. I'm kind of understanding that everyone actually has this, and he can only see on the parents because his parents are what's most familiar to him. And I know that might be like just a far-fetched theory, but I think that's what's happening is that like his parents are so familiar to him that he can see through them. Do you get what I mean? Like the clarity part, like he can't see everyone else because he doesn't know everyone else. You know, like he's not going to see their monsters attached to them. But it's not monsters, you know? It's like we're their clothes, you know? Like something else is controlling. We're not anything to them. Anyway, let's continue because I was rambling for a while. I leaned against the grimy glass on the phone booth, my legs threatening to give out. "What are you talking about? I don't understand." "The human eye is a marvel," he began, launching into a lecture as if we were back in his office. "But it's not perfect. It's just evolved. Not just to see, but also not to see." Oh, okay. So this actually goes with one of my first theories. I know I've been making a lot of theories, but that's just who I am. It goes with my theory that I said where I was just like, I feel like there's nothing actually wrong with the parents, and that the surgery on his eyes actually just made him be able to see things that we cannot see ourselves. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like our human eyes are adjusted to seeing things like the way we were meant to perceive them. You get what I mean? Because like your mind automatically, like when you see something out of the corner of your eye, your mind automatically finishes the picture. Do you understand what I mean? Like your mind will always finish the picture even if you're not even closely looking at something, and it will just finish it off as something it perceived. Sorry, I heard a banging at my door and that was terrifying, but whatever. And it's also like, yeah, your mind will finish out pictures. It's the same thing like with colorblind people. It's like colorblind people, they do see the color yellow. They just don't see it as the color yellow that we see it. Do you get what I mean? Like they still see color and they can still see yellow. They just can't see yellow the way we see yellow. Do you get what I mean? Like I used yellow. I'm not even sure if that's a real like colorblind thing, but I like colors. They can see colors. It just, they don't see it the same way we do. And I think that goes for like a lot of human minds, and it goes with the thing of like some mental disorders. Like you can see people as like analog horror, but there's nothing actually wrong with those people. Like their faces will look distorted and stuff to you, but there's nothing actually wrong with that person. You have a mental disorder. Do you get what I mean? And I think this is the kind of the same thing where it's like, and like with the supernatural, how children can see like ghosts and stuff, but adults can't. It's like your eyes are trained to see what you perceive. And I believe that like we are obviously not seeing everything. Like we can't see the tiny bed bugs on your bed. You can't see the tiny little insects that are actually crawling around all over your skin. Do you understand what I mean? Like you need a microscope to like see those little things, those little details. And we can only see what our eyes will allow us to. But like, I think what he's saying is that like this experiment has enhanced his eye so much that you can actually see everything you're meant to be seeing. I guess that makes sense. 6, 7. Okay. But also not to see from the moment we are born. There is a biological filter in the place. A complex series of photoreceptors and neutral inhibitors that renders them invisible to us. Oh, okay, so they've always been there, you just can't see them. It's a veil, a defense mechanism developed over thousands of years for their protection. If we could see them, we would fight them. Their survival depends on our secrecy. Oh, so they depend on you. I guess so. It's kind of like Vecna and Will, kind of how like Vecna needs Will to like kind of be a spy for him in order to survive and like defeat the kids or whatever. You get what I mean? Like he kind of needs them. He needs Will to be that spy, that like connection between the world and himself. Okay. My mind was struggling to catch up, to process the sheer insanity of what he was saying. Them, who are they? I don't know their name for themselves, he said, a note of frustration in his voice. Parasites is the closest word we have, but it's not quite right. It's a deeper bond than that. They nourish us. They protect us from certain illnesses. They keep their host delicate. Content, in return, they get to live. They experience the world through us. Okay, they experience the world through us. Yeah, I think I'm just understanding that it's like a host situation. And I don't think they're actually doing anything bad if like they protect their host. So I'm assuming like people with illnesses in this world and stuff, like if they have an illness, they probably don't have a parasite attached to them. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like that's not even like the worst concept, because it's not like the parasite is actually controlling them. It's not like the parasite's actually taken away from them. I must not got a parasite on me, because I get sick all the time. Okay, my parasite, why are you not doing a good job? I get sick all the time. They experience the world through us. And the food, I whispered, thinking about the pulsating grill, the water. Their substance, not ours, he confirmed. A slurry of organic matter and their own larva forms, which they cultivate. They process it and pass through the nutrients onto the human host. It's perfectly efficient, closed system, as long as you can't see it. As long as you can't see it. I don't know what that's implying, but I think that's implying that if he actually does eat any of the food, he's like dead. But I don't think that makes any sense, because if like the water and stuff, it's clear to us, but it has all of the things they need as well, and they like filter it for us. I think that part makes sense, but it doesn't make sense that like so can he eat the stuff and it wouldn't cause a problem because he's human? I don't understand why you're saying it, as long as you can't see it. I'm like, wouldn't it just be the same thing? Okay. The pieces were slamming into place, forming a picture of such profound horror that I felt my sanity frying at the edges. You did this on purpose, the surgery. It was a hypothesis, he snapped, his voice raising with a manic energy. I spent my life studying the eye, its limitations. I saw anomalies, patterns that made no sense. I came to believe we weren't alone, that the truth was right in front of us, just filtered out. I theorized that I could bypass the filter. I could surgically remove the veil. But the real challenge is finding them. As long as it seems they do not live with all humans. I have doubted myself for so long, but you were my proof. Oh, okay, that makes it worse. Okay, because why are they with the parents and the family? Was the family meant to die? That's my question, because if they aren't with all humans, I'm assuming they choose humans that are, because like they help with illnesses and stuff, right? I'm assuming they choose humans that are supposed to be dying or dead soon. Like kind of supernatural, but kind of not. I don't think it's that supernatural. Like maybe they can just like tell, and like a car crash or something. And they can tell like if someone is supposed to die soon, and they choose to attach to that person because like they're supposed to die soon. I don't know. Like, because they get all the nutrients and then they can hop on to the next person, and it's not so weird to just attach to one person. I'm just making theories because it makes sense, but also doesn't. I probably just need to start reading it. You have to change it back, I pleaded, tears streaming down my face. I can't live like this. Please, you have to fix me. The line was silent for a moment. Save the wind was the strange clicking. When he spoke again, his voice was heavy with a terrible finality. I can't, he said softly. I don't know how. I only ever learned how to open the door. I never figured out how to close it. That's why I ran. They knew about me. They know about me? They know about me? They know about him doing this. That's what's scarier, because they chose his family. They chose the guy that can see them's family. Which, to me, is like, I think they're trying to keep an eye on him to make sure it didn't work. Do you get what I mean? Like, I think they're going to try to kill him off if it worked. But his reactions and him playing it cool as if, like, nothing is wrong, I think it's saving his life, because I'm assuming they will have to kill him if he can see them. Do you get what I mean? Because, like, if the assumption is that humans will kill them if they are seen by them, I think that means that, like, if all humans can see them, they no longer can, like, survive off of us, and they will, like, go extinct. So they have to kill any human that can. And this doctor forced this person to live with this. I don't think that's fair. It's not fair. It's a fucking asshole. That's a fucking asshole. Sorry. I just don't think that's fair. That's so mean. Like, why would you do that to someone? Nobody wants to live like that unless you're fucking insane. Like, why would you want to see things that are terrifying to your perception of the eye? Like, no fucking way, bitch. And, like, I think they're gonna kill him now, because he can sense them and he can see them. And I'm glad he's, like, pretended so long, but him, like, sneaking off probably alerted them to a point where they'll probably kill him anyway. Okay. That's why I ran. They know about me. The ones who aren't bonded. The ones roaming free. They can sense me, and now they will sense you too. He paused. Listen to me very carefully. The ones attached to your family. They are realizing you can see them. Their primarily deceptive is to protect the host and preserve the secret. Oh, okay. Their primary directive is to protect the host and perceive the secret. They will see you as a flaw, and they will try to fix you. Do not let them touch you. Do not eat or drink anything they give you, and for God's sake, do not let them near your eyes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm understanding the concept, even though my foot is falling asleep. I'm understanding the concept. Okay. So the reason why his food and stuff looks bad to him and stuff is because they're trying to feed it to him to make them part of him, I think. Because like, if humans can't see it and they consume it, I assume that they're allowed to take you over as a host. But I don't think it's actually going to mess up your actual body. I think you actually just get to live your life normally. I'm not actually seeing a downside about this at all. I'm like, okay, they survive, we survive. Like, what's the problem here? But if they can sense him, I'm not sure if like they actually take over the body or not. Like, I'm not sure if it's a true parasite or if it's like they're just like attached, you know, like just attached to the hip. They're like a freaking insect or mosquito that won't go away, you know. Like, maybe it's not actually that bad, but the fact that like the food, it's like, if the parents and stuff ate the food, they're trying to get him to eat the food, but he can see them, and I think they're trying to find a way to convince him to eat their food and drink their stuff so they can attach to him. But I just don't know if that makes sense, because when we find out about the family more, I think that would make a lot more sense. But still, the line went dead. I stood there for a long time, the dead receiver pressed to my ear. Fix me. The word echoed in the hollow space where my hope used to be. When I got home, the atmosphere had changed. The presence of normalcy was gone. They were all sitting in the living room waiting for me. Okay, so they know. I'm assuming that someone, like, the phone call is so risky because, like, I'm assuming that, like, the doctor died. I'm assuming the doctor died because he said he was hearing clicking, like, through the phone. And I know it was mentioned a lot, but I feel like I just always brushed over it. But he was hearing clicking through the phone, but he was also hearing clicking with his family. So I'm assuming that, like, the doctor had the parasite, you know, and that this phone call, it's not a trap, but it's more like they were listening. Okay, the doctor was Will in this situation and was a spy for Vecna. Do you get what I mean? I'm doing a lot of Stranger Things references, but that's because Stranger Things coming out, baby. Stranger Things coming out. Okay, let's just continue. When I got home, the atmosphere had changed. The normalcy was gone. They were all sitting in the living room waiting for me. My mom, my dad, my sister, they all turned to look at me as I walked in, their movements perfectly synchronized, their faces worse expressions of calm, loving concern. But their passengers were agitated. The thing on my mom's cheek was pulsing rapidly. The fungal mass on my dad's chest was flared, its central orifice slightly open. My sister's transcendent parasite was shimmering, its color shifting from a clear to a milky, aquate white. Honey, you were gone for a long time, my mom said, her voice smooth as silk. We were worried. I just needed some air, I said, my voice shaking. I started my way back to the stairs. Your eyes look strange. Oh, your eyes look strained, my dad rumbled, standing up. The tube on his chest seemed to swell. You're not just agitating well. You're not adjusting well. The doctor called you while you were out. He forgot to give you these. He held a small, clear bottle with a dropper, an eyedropper. He said the doctor's name, my doctor, the one who was supposedly in another country. Okay, so maybe there wasn't a spy. Okay, that's actually good, because now you know a lot of information. Okay, so the parasite is trying to trick host, OP, into putting these eye drops into his eye so that maybe they can stop being seen by him. But why won't you let them touch your eyes? Like, don't you want to not see them? I low-key would probably put the eye drops in my eyes. But I'd be like, can you do it? Because I can't do that shit on my own. I hate eye drops. So, like, they would have to do it. But I just don't see the problem. Like, if it can make you not see them anymore, what's the issue? Like, they're trying to help you, honestly. I think they're trying to help you. Like, this would solve all the problems. But you also know another secret. They're trying to pass it off as the doctor so they don't know about your phone call, which actually means that you're probably going to be able to recover from your outing. And you can just be like, I needed some fresh air. I've been feeling really depressed. Like, you can honestly make up a bunch of shit for them to believe and not be suspicious. You can even start crying, bitch. And you can be like, I just need some fresh air. I feel like I've been trapped and I feel like I'm not even my own person. Like, you can make that shit up to pass these monsters up. Like, the parasites are not going to be able to tell, like, if you're lying or not, because you just have to pretend not to see them. At least for now, until you just, like, run away. Just run away, babe. Go to another country. Okay. He held up a small, clear bottle with a dropper, an eyedropper. He said my doctor's name. The one who was supposedly in another country. My mom took the bottle from him and approached me. He said these are special drops, much stronger. They'll help you with the sensitivity. They'll make everything easier to look at. See, I feel like they're helping you. Like, I don't think you should listen to the doctor because the doctor did this to you. I feel like the doctor wants you to stay this way because he said don't let them near you, but I just don't think it makes sense that they are host of these people. Like, they are hosting the parents and the sister, right? And they're having nutrients from the food and stuff that they're drinking. But I assume everyone with that parasite feels the same way, and I don't think the parasite is actually harming the human form. So my assumption is that, like, they just want to live. You know, they just want to live in peace without a human, like, acknowledging their existence. And they don't want any danger to come to them because of a human acknowledging their existence. Because, like, humans have proven so many time again, we do not like things that we cannot understand. And I feel like it would be like, oh, they would have to pay for food, you know? Like, they would have to get a job. Like, how the fuck is a parasite gonna get a job? You get what I mean? I'm just rambling. I'm getting a little angry, but I don't know why I'm getting angry. I'm just like, I'm trying to understand. It's a good story. I'm just trying to understand, like, what's happening. And I know if I just keep reading, I will. It's just like theories, man. The theories. I'm trying to understand. Okay. She unscrewed the cap. As she did, I saw it. The milky white fluid in the bottle wasn't medicine. I watched as a thin, vicious glob of the same substance secreted from a tiny pore on the parasite clinging to her face, dripping down her cheeks, saying she was trying to get me to put a piece of it in my eye, to blind me again. Oh, are they generally just trying to blind him? Because I honestly am thinking, like, they just don't want him to see them anymore. I feel like this is supposed to help him. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. No, I whispered, backing up the stairs. No, stay away from me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why would you do that? No, I whispered, backing up the stairs. No, stay away from me. I feel like that's the worst way to have handled the situation, because if it was me, I'd be like, I fucking hate eye drops, Mom. You fucking know this. I would do something like that to at least see if those were still my parents. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like there's a few things that all parents will know about their kid. And I feel like eye drops and them not liking eye drops or loving eye drops is one of them, okay? Like, I refuse to put shit near my eyes, right? This is something my parents know. And so something I would do is just be like, I fucking hate eye drops. And if they made it, like, if they pressed the problem, I'd be like, but I literally can see. I can literally see. Just let me adjust. Like, I'm adjusting fine. I'm probably just tired because you're just on my fucking dick. You know, like, you're a young dude, bitch. Like, OP is, like, living with his parents and his little sister. Like, I'm assuming you're pretty young to a point where I feel like if you did an outburst like that, it's not out of the norm. Like, it is out of the norm for your character, but it's not out of the norm for your age group, where all of the parasites could probably explain it to themselves as, oh, he just he's tired of our constant bugging. You get what I mean? And then it'll be like you don't see them, you know? Like you don't see them. And he says don't touch it, but what if you touch the other side of your mom's cheek? I feel like that could be a way to be like, I don't care that you're here, and I won't acknowledge you. Because it could also be a symbol of peace if they still think you can see them, but it can also be like they won't think you see them because you're willing to put your hand near them. Do you get what I mean? I think that makes sense. I'm like, why can't you just pretend? Just pretend and then leave. Then escape. Like, you don't have to stay there ever. Like, I get it, it's easier said than done, but like, you saved up for your eye surgery, so I'm assuming you're a grown-ass adult. Like, you saved up for your eye surgery, it wasn't your parents, so I'm assuming you're grown enough to, like, leave the house and live somewhere else. And I bet if you explained, like, you can even make some shit up. You can say your parents have been abusing you. You could say, like, they've been sneaking medicine into my food, and it's been making me light, and they've been putting stuff into my eyes, like, at night, so I can't see. Like, you can make a lot of shit up to try to escape them. Like, honestly. Their smiles didn't flatter, but their eyes went cold and glassy. Don't be difficult, son, my dad said, starting up the stairs after me. My mom and sister followed close behind. We just want to help you. Bitch, run out that house. Run out the house, because you already blew your cover, and they're just trying to be nice to try to get you to trust them. And it's like, no, bitch, run out the house. We love you, my sister chimed in, her voice a flat monotone. The parasite on her head rippled. The two new, smaller trinkets unflared from her near temples, tipped with the sharp-looking barbs. I turned and sprinted to my room, slamming the door and locking it just as they reached the top of the stairs. I heard the doorknob jingle, then a soft, polite knock. Sweetie, open the door, my mom's voice filled. I scrambled to push my desk and dresser, anything heavy in front of the door. The wood groaned under the weight. They tried for another hour, their voices never changing from the pallid, loving tone. They offered me food, a special bowl of stew, they said, full of nutrients to help my eyes heal. I imagined the withering larvae inside, designed to grow in my gut and rebuild the veil from the inside out. I refused. But if they're rebuilding the veil to make you not see them anymore, is that such a bad thing? Like, is that so bad? Like, honestly, I feel like, wouldn't you want to not see them anymore? Because I feel like they're not actually causing any issues. I think it's more just like, you can see them, so now it's bothering you. But I feel like it's as if, okay, sometimes I'll see a little bug in my house, okay? Like, you'll see a little bug, and you're like, wow, if I never saw you, it wouldn't bother me. But now that I saw you, it bothers me. Do you get what I mean? And now you want to kill it, or now you want to take it outside. Like, you want it not in your house. But if you had never seen that bug, it would have never bothered you. It's the same thing with like bees and ants. Like, when you're outside, it's like you go outside, you're having fun, but then as soon as you see an insect, you're terrified. But then it's like, what if you never saw that insect? Would you have such a problem? I don't think you would. And it's like, I feel like this is kind of the same scenario. It's like, they aren't doing anything remotely bad, you know, like, but I am getting the impression that they have completely taken over the parents. It's not like a casual thing where it's like, oh, it's cute and fun, like, we're just trying to get nutrients, you know, we're just trying to survive. It feels like they've completely taken over the parents, which that's what's scaring me. That's what's bothering me more. It's like, oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe let's fight you. Okay. I refuse. Then the knocking stopped for a while. There was silence. I prayed that they had given up, but then the new sounds began. Underneath the floorboards and near the door, I can hear them, the soft, wet thud of my father's host body pressing against the door. But it's not a human sound. It's the sound of hard, fungal shell of his chest bumping into the wood, and then the clicking. They're letting you know that they're there. this is a problem, bitch. Because if they're like trying to remove the disguise that they're your parents now, that means you fucked up, because they're like making their natural noises and letting you see what naturally is happening. That means you messed the fuck up, bitch. Like, you might as well run outside the house and try to escape outside your window and risk the fall, because there is no way you're surviving this. Like, this is your dad. You're dead. You're dead. There's no surviving this. I don't even know how to save you, babe, because I feel like it's low-key your fault, because you blew your cover, and I don't understand why you went back home. You went back home knowing nothing can save you, and when the doctor specifically told you, like, don't let them touch you, don't let them near you, and you go back home. You don't have friends, nigga. Like, you don't got no friends where you can go hang out with your friends. Like, you don't have any friends where you can, like, sleep over for the night. And even if you don't, I think you would rather risk sleeping in the fucking woods than sleeping with those motherfuckers. Because if they don't know about your phone call and they didn't already try to come get you, because I feel like the mom or someone would disguise themselves and come drive to the phone booth if they knew you were there. So they clearly can't track you. So if you lived in the woods for like a few days and then maybe went to a friend's house, maybe went to a few homeless shelters, maybe tried to rebuild your life. Because like, I assume you came with your identification. I assume you came with money, like, to the doctor's office. So maybe just try to live without your family. I don't know. Okay. And the clicking, a low, constant, shuddering sound. It's the sound of their real voices, the parasites communicating with each other. A series of sharp, wet clicks and low, gurgle pops. I even felt its hunger. My mom just started talking again, her voice as sweet as ever, dripping with hun-eyed concern. Honey, please come out. We just want to make you feel better. We just want to help you see things the right way again. See, that's where this concerns me, is because they want them to see things the right way again, and they don't want to be, like, caught on anymore. I'm like, what if low-key you just did the eye drops and you're perfectly fine? Like, they're not trying to blind you. They're just trying to generally help you not see this fucking crazy thing again, because maybe you should just be blind, because that's crazy. The doctor did something crazy to you, and I feel like the doctor is what's evil in this story. I don't even think the larvae or parasite is evil, because I feel like they're just trying to make you not see them, because clearly it's bothering you, and clearly it's bothering them that you can see them. What if you just get the eye drops, bitch? Like, maybe that's the way to reverse it, is to let them in, but like, maybe they don't even control you, you know? Like, maybe you're not actually being controlled. Maybe it's like, and if your whole family is already being controlled and that's what the problem is, like your family, and you love your family and you want to be with your family again, I don't think you're getting your family back. So you have two choices there: be like your family or run away. And I think in that situation, I would probably just run away, or I would choose to take the eye drops. And those are like two things I would do. Okay, let's continue. But as she speaks, I can hear it. Right on the other side of the door, the frantic, eager clicking of the thing that wears her face. They were behind the door, just waiting. They know I have to come out eventually. I'm running out of water, and I am so thirsty. But I will not drink their blood-red water. I will not eat their food. And I am not letting them put their filth in my new, horribly perfect eyes. I can see everything now, and it's hell. Okay, this has 10 upvotes. 11 now, because I just added an upvote. This is a new story, guys. I would recommend you go read it for yourself. It's on Reddit. The title, it's on our creepypasta. It was posted 5 hours ago. When this video comes out, probably like 5 days ago, I don't know, like 3-5 days ago. This is a really good story. This is like a rare find. I did not expect to like just stumble upon a freaking art piece. The grammar at the beginning was making me struggle, but I think that's just because it was using a lot of fancy words and I can't read. And let alone like R words and W words, it's hard for me. So maybe that's not even your fault, OP. That's probably my fault because I can't read. Okay, let's read the comments. Wow, I really enjoyed this. You did an amazing job. Okay, there's only one comment. I'm going to write a comment as well. I read this for my YouTube podcast. I can't spell. I'm sorry. Okay, I read this for my YouTube podcast on called Do Not Disturb on Diamond TV on YouTube. It will be out Wednesday. I can't spell either. I can't read or spell. Sorry guys, I am dragging this video on. You can stay with me or you can go away. I'm trying to show you something cool. I can't spell Wednesday. You can search up Diamond the Human on YouTube. I'm figuring out how to type. I love this story. I kinda messed up a lot of words when reading it. I'm sorry. Yay! I commented. Hopefully OP will read it. Oh, Delicious Skirt 5583. That's my username. Who came up with that username? Why is my username on Reddit Delicious Skirt 5583? That should not be my username. What the freak? Should I make a new freaking Reddit account? What the hell? There's no way that's my actual username. That's crazy. Delicious Skirt. Okay, well, I'm just gonna let that be. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening or watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And I hope you come back next week for Do Not Disturb. Love you. Bye. To heaven. And I'm out. Bye, Diamond. Sorry to anyone I just like ear raped, bro. Okay, bye.